I like the little... Oh, is that you? I thought that was part of this. Let's go.
What's up, everybody?
We
It's
were-
Wednesday.
We were way into that.
We were
right
into
now.
the song. We were getting into the song.
Super into it.
It's time for Matt Therapy. I am Donna Gonzalez. I am Donna Gonzalez, joined by
words.
Becky Dominguez and Lee Syatt.
Hello.
Spoiler alert, we're going to be here every single week because it's Matt Therapy with Donna and Becky. So if you don't like us, don't watch. Anyway, our guest today is a 10th Planet Black Belt and our homeboy, who has one of the coolest names ever,
Right.
Slick Rick Marshall. What
Slick
up, doggy?
Rick.
Right.
How you guys doing?
What's
Thanks-
happening?
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming to join us.
Cool.
How? Speaking of, how'd you get your nickname?
Sean Bollinger. Let's see, 2000.
Beezy?
Yeah, Sean Beezy. In 2009, we were rolling, and then he said after we rolled, that was the first time we rolled, and then he was like, he asked me what belt I was, and then he promoted me. And then he gave me a nickname, and he said, "We're gonna call you Slick." And I was like, "Why is that?" He goes, "Oh," and then he said, "Because you're slick." And I was like, "Okay, cool." So that worked out good because
All right.
I like that name, Slick
Like,
Rick.
do you like 80s hip hop?
I like hip hop.
Oh,
I love
see?
Slick Rick the Ruler, so that's
Right?
like paying homage to his name by saying the Roller.
For sure.
For sure.
Slick Rick the
For
Roller. I've never known you as anything else.
Right?
I've only ever. I even have you on my phone, Slick Rick.
Slick Rick.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Well,
cool.
Jiu-Jitsu. Let's get right into it. Tell us how you. I mean, you're a black belt now, so you. That's how long's your journey been? How'd you get into it? What's your story,
Tell us the
dude?
things.
All right. I guess in a nutshell, let's see.
We got an hour, didn't that?
Yeah.
That
Oh,
much of a
okay.
nutshell.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, please be concise. 30 words or less.
Okay. Let's see. Well, I think when I graduated high school, then I went off to college, and after college, I started working, and then after work, I was like, during work, I was like, I want to go to school and get my master's degree, and after that, then I went and got another master's degree, and finally, when
You
I
have
was
two master's degrees?
Yeah.
In what?
No big deal.
computer science and business.
No big deal.
Little easy stuff.
Whatever.
So after that was like 2007, and I was like, well, I've been kind of running full force for for so long, just working full time and side projects, and then all the school, and finally that all came to a halt when I didn't have any more school, and I was like, I didn't know what to do, and I was kind of a little bit overweight at the time too. So I was like, well, I always wanted to do martial arts. I wanted to get back into it because when I was a kid, I did a little bit of, I think it was karate or something like that. And but I always knew that I had a love for martial arts, and I wanted to get back into it one day. And I thought that was a perfect time to go, I guess, venture out and see what type of martial arts there were. And so when I was working at in Orange County, I would always drive by Gracie Baja. No, it just said Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu on the sign. There's like a sign that said, it was a real tiny spot, but it's now the Gracie Baja America headquarters, I believe. And but they moved to a bigger place since then. But at that time, I went into that place, and I just wanted to see what jiu-jitsu or what it was about. I didn't know what it was about, and then the guy had me put on a gi and had me escape a mount, and I think I held him in mount or something like that. And
Your first class, he was like, get out of my mount.
well, not my first class, but like my first just, hey, I'm interested in what you guys do here. And then he's like, oh yeah, put on a gi. Have you ever done jiu-jitsu? I was like, nah. And he's like, oh yeah, put this on. And it was kind of like he empowered me, or he felt
Okay.
I felt like empowered. I was like, oh cool, this is fun. And then I was like, okay, well, how do I sign up? And then he took me to his office, and he gave me like some prices of what stuff was, and I was like, it was like over like $100, and I was
You're
like,
like, that's too much.
Yeah.
I can't spend that much on
You're like,
a
aren't
choker.
gym memberships supposed to be like
Yeah.
$35
that's
a
what I
month?
thought. I thought like 24-hour fitness, $30 a month. That's what I was thinking. And
You're like, I could work out at Bally's for $9.99, so I don't know about this.
Right.
Bally's,
$100
does
a
that
month.
still exists?
I don't know. I'm old. What do you want me to do?
But
I was a member there once.
and And then so I didn't do it. Then he flipped some pages and said, "How do you want to try this price range or something?" And then at that point, I was like, "Oh, this sounds kind of weird. I'm trying to like,
Right.
you know."
Haggle your.
Did you have any concept of what it was? Or like you just walked in and you're like, okay, you guys are wearing the kimonos. There's people rolling around the ground looking aggressively hugging.
Yeah.
But you had no...
Well, there was no one in the gym at the time. It was just whoever was the owner.
What year was this?
This was 2007.
Okay, so
Early March. something like that.
MMA existed. You were familiar enough
It
maybe
was
with...
growing.
I was familiar with UFC and Ultimate Fighter. I think.
Okay,
there's
did you make the connection between like what you know how everybody's like, I saw UFC too and I had to go train.
You know, like I kind of like those years kind of passed me by, like all
Okay.
the ground game, all the like just UFC in general. Like I always thought it was when I heard UFC, I remembered there was some show or some video that used to get passed around that everyone was like it was like Faces of Death or thing.
Yeah,
think.
I
And
remember
think
that. I remember that.
That's what I thought UFC was. So I didn't really know. I thought it was just fighting in general, and so I don't know why I went in there, but it said jiu-jitsu and it said Brazilian jiu-jitsu. So I was like, okay, well, let me see what this is. I didn't really know that was associated, like connect.
How
You know,
funny.
I don't know what this is, but
Whatever,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna try
Do
it.
I was like, I'm just gonna try it. Yeah.
do I get to break a board?
Right. No, I wasn't gonna do that. I wasn't about to do all the funky, like crazy, like stuff where people are flying around, nothing like that.
Without touching them.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Just,
So
they put their stick
did this
down and they
person
fly.
give you like a history, like, oh, here's the history of jiu-jitsu, here's why you should love it? Like where's the sales pitch? Just it's $100 a month.
Yeah, that was, well, it was
Over
it was, like,
100
it was
bucks a month.
150 a month, and then you don't like that? How about this? Can you do 130 a month for 2 days? And I was just like, at that point I was like, I felt like I was being, I'm sorry to say, but I felt like I was being hustled, and I was
Yeah.
like, I don't want to be hustled and stuff. And then I was like, I'll come back tomorrow, and I didn't come back, and I went to my work, and I was just talking to people at work, and I was telling them how I wanted to get into martial arts, and there was a jiu-jitsu place down the street, and I was kind of turned off by it. I have a lot of love for them, but it was just for my first experience with
Yeah.
in the martial arts or jiu-jitsu school, it was just kind of not, it kind of threw me off a little bit. But someone at work had suggested that I go talk to this dude that would walk around the hallways, and I think he was like on steroids or something, because he would his shoulders were, he's tall guys, just like, and he would just mad dog
I don't know if
everybody.
you should go to that school down the street, but there's this guy
Yeah, there's this
that has some big biceps you should talk to.
No, they're like this guy. He trains MMA. He'll know who to. He'll recommend someone to talk to. And then I was like, all right. So he's walking down the hallway, and I was like, hey, can I talk to you for a second? And then he turned to me, and I was like, someone told me you do like MMA, and he's like, oh yeah. And then he was like super nice, and he's like, I train at Mike Guyman, Joker's Wild Fighting Academy right there in Lake Forest. And then he's like, you should come train. And so I went down there, probably like the next day or even that night, I can't remember, but Joker and Albert Rosales, they had said, yeah, we'll teach you something today that you'll be able to
Joker,
use.
the fighter that used to fight for the King of the Cage?
Yeah, he used to
oh,
be
that's super old school.
tap
Yeah.
out. Yeah, he was like
yeah.
one of the tap out guys, and so they were like, yeah, you could use this on the way to the parking lot tonight if you had to, and so I like that. vibe.
Because we plant somebody there to attack you on your way out.
I know
To
exactly.
test it out
Right, right.
afterwards. So that way you'll come back the next day and you're like, I have to sign up.
Right,
It's
right.
true. It's
It
true.
worked,
It worked.
They fell into the plan. It worked. So it was like kickboxing, and it was jiu-jitsu. So it was Muay Thai, and then jiu-jitsu. Other days I did MMA, but it was something that I liked. Everyone that was there I liked. I vibed with them pretty well.
Yeah.
And they were just like me, just guys that worked or guys that were just killing time, I guess. But
I've
everyone had
talked
a love
about
for
that, like the generation of people that maybe we were coming up with in the beginning of training.
Mm-hmm.
It was more of a hobby and just something that we did that was cool and fun. And now there's so many people that are like, jiu-jitsu is life. I
Yeah.
train 3 times a day.
Yeah.
All like that's the only thing that exists.
True.
So how long before you fell in love with the sport?
Pretty much immediately. I think it wasn't until I actually got an armbar off my friend. I felt bad for him because I didn't know what a submission was. I just knew that I just pull some way, and I made him tap, and I was like, I felt
You're
like
like,
empowerment.
yeah.
I was like, this is, and that's when I was like probably like a month into it. I was like, I got addicted after that.
Nice.
A month into it, I got my first armbar,
Nice.
And the rest was history. I was just like, this is the stuff. And I think early on, what I did was I took one day, or Tuesday night was kickboxing, and then Thursday night was jiu-jitsu. And I was doing that for I don't know how long, but I was like, I'm not getting anywhere, I feel, because one day a week was
Yeah.
just not good. And then I asked my one friend, and he was like, oh yeah, I do kickboxing and jiu-jitsu in the same night, Tuesday and Thursday. And I was like, well, if he can do that, maybe I can at least do 2 days a week of jiu-jitsu and focus on the ground game, and then come back into kickboxing.
Yeah.
And then that's when I just started focusing on kickboxing. I think it was just like 2 days a week up until I think 2008. So a little bit over a year. And then I moved to Bay Area, started working up there, and I joined another club. It was called Freestyle Submission. And I was going there like probably 4 times a week.
Was this all gi or no gi?
It was all no-gi. Yeah, it was all no-gi. I mean, they did the same thing, kickboxing and jiu-jitsu. So every once in a while I'll get my kickboxing in, but it was mainly jiu-jitsu for me.
So have you ever trained in the gi?
Yeah, I've trained in the gi. Like
Do you
up
still
until-
do you still now?
Yeah, I still
Ever?
train in the gi now. I mean, once in a while, it's kind of like so up until, let's see, I think about 2007 until roughly 2012, I probably trained in the gi like 20, 25 times, all with good guys. And so I always had a appreciation for it. And then Art of Jiu-Jitsu in Newport Beach, Costa Mesa, they opened up, and I liked the Mendez brothers, like their style. I went to like 5 seminars before they started, and then so I wanted to do jiu-jitsu there, and that was in the gi, but I didn't actually start training full-time in the gi with them, or at least multiple times a week with them, until 2014.
Oh,
So you
No,
were like a
2000
brown belt when
two-
you started training in the gi.
I was I was a
Often.
brown belt. I was a brown belt in the gi. It was 2013 when I started in the gi, and I was training there. Actually, I think from in the brown belt, I started I was training like 10 sessions a week, just in no gi and a couple in the gi. And then I started training like 14 times a week in just.
Are you still training 14 times a week?
14 times.
Nah, I don't. Yeah. Now these days, I'm lucky
I was
if
like, was that a real number?
Yeah. These days, I probably train like twice, generally like once, but just because I've been so busy. So ideally, I'd like to get like 3 times a week, but if I'm lucky, I can get 2. I was going to 10th Planet headquarters for like twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. Then I'll go to AOJ in the nighttime, do the no-gi followed by the gi. That was a Tuesday, Thursday. Then Monday, Wednesday was highest Dion with GoCore.
Are you still going to GoCore?
Yeah, I'm still going there. But I don't even get, maybe once a week.
Wow.
Sometimes I skip, but, I try to at least try to be consistent somewhere. And, ultimately what I need to do, and I will do, is have my own school so I can train as much as I could.
Really?
Yeah. And, I've been planning that for a while.
So
It's
wait,
just-
you train at 10th Planet, AOJ, and GoCore?
Well, I don't train at AOJ anymore. It's been like a year.
Okay.
But I've trained there for like 3 years. But I've always been a brown belt there.
At AOJ?
At AOJ, because like when I went there, I was like, hey, Hafa, I'm a brown belt under Eddie, but I'm going to wear the gi. And Eddie had always mentioned to us that when you go into a school, don't just wear your belt, but ask the professor.
For sure, that makes
Right.
sense.
Yeah, so that was like, so he was like, you're a brown belt, wear a brown belt. So I'd wear my brown belt on my gi, and everyone tried to attack me, but, I have good defense.
You're like,
so-
why are you grabbing my collar?
Yeah, exactly.
No grabbing.
No grabbing. No.
Overhook.
But then when I got a black belt, it was kind of weird because I was like, I didn't want to wear a black belt in there now. And even though that's what Hafa had told me before for the brown belt, I felt like I wasn't at that level for, I don't know. I mean, I still,
Yeah.
what he said was, well, just get ranked under Eddie for no-gi and get ranked under S for gi. And I was like, okay, that's
Sure,
fine.
why not?
Yeah.
But I trained another 6 months, and I never received a stripe on the brown, and I was there with him for like 3 years without any stripes. So I figured at that point I probably wasn't going to get ranked or something.
Okay.
And ultimately, I do want to get ranked in the gi.
Yeah. Where do you at GoCore?
Just a 10th Planet black belt.
Okay.
You know,
but,
Just
so,
no gi?
but
he
what-
recognizes
no gi.
me. No, I don't.
Oh.
I don't wear a gi there. It's
Oh, you
just all
don't?
no gi. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Go court. How much judo do you get to do with them?
Typically, I think it's like he does like either a Wednesday night or a Monday night. He'll throw in some no-gi judo into the grappling. So we'll do like our rounds of grappling, and then he'll show us like some judo techniques. And it's not all the time, like not every week, but usually one of those days. So if I make it and it happens to be that day that he's showing the no-gi judo,
Yeah.
then it's cool. But yeah, I just try to, I mean, I'll try to hang, but I know
Right.
that once they get a hold of me and they get their hips close
You're like,
to me,
why
then
are my feet off the ground?
Yes. And it's happened a couple times.
Gravity
it's happened
check.
a few times. Yeah, it's definitely happened with a few people, and they could have killed me probably if they landed, but they know how to land.
For sure.
So that they don't land on your body. They,
Oh,
you know.
God. It pains me just watching it.
Oh, yeah.
It's fun though.
Those
It's
tosses.
really fun. It's really it's a really fun game.
Not having someone.
Judo.
Have you been
idea like
watching
that, though.
the Olympics? Speaking of judo,
Judo. No, I haven't. Why? What's the? Is there a
we
hype
got
on it? Or?
is it our one of our guys got the silver medal,
Yeah.
and he
Oh.
was
Team
what
USA.
the first male to get to medal for the USA.
Oh, really?
Shoot.
I feel like I read that somewhere. I'm sorry
He
if
was
I'm wrong.
He was the quickest BJJ black belt, actually.
No.
The guy who won silver in judo.
No, he was the quickest judo black belt. I don't think he has a jiu-jitsu black belt, does he?
The article I saw said he did. Let me
I
check.
think
Is he a
he
Russian
does.
guy? There's a Russian
No,
guy.
he's
that
an
had one.
American.
I'll check what you guys talk.
Okay.
Okay. Well, speaking of that, are you guys following the rest? I'm really loud. Can we turn down my? I mean, I'm really loud in general, so I don't need to be even more loud.
I'm glad you
Um,
said.
Shut up, Beckford. Are you guys following the rest of the Olympics?
Yes.
Can we just
Some
talk
of
about
it.
Team USA for a second?
I'm trying my best to follow the Olympics, but the NBC app on the Apple TV hates me.
Yeah.
And every time I start like a replay, sometimes I'll get into it for a few minutes, and then
then
it'll
it'll
like
freeze
reset.
on you?
No, it'll like reset itself. Like it'll shut off almost. But
So
it
right
doesn't-
when Simone Biles is going for like she's setting up this like triple double jump that she's gonna jump through the ceiling, you're like,
Oh no.
literally this morning, 4 or 5 times I tried,
Wow.
and it would play for like 30 seconds, and then it would reset.
you want me to catch you guys up on the awesomeness that is happening?
I have.
I
seen
don't.
some
I
of
don't
the
know
women.
how to watch. I don't know what time zone. I mean, I feel
Well,
bad for
I
not
just watch
supporting.
replays. Who cares?
At
Okay,
8
okay.
o'clock every night on NBC, they play like the big stuff. So,
Oh, okay.
For
I feel bad. I
example,
feel bad for saying that.
well, for example, last night Michael Phelps got his 21st gold medal. He
Holy crap.
is a beast, seriously. And there was for everybody who was following it. So there's a I think he's South African, Leclos, who beat him in 2012 by like a minuscule time.
Right.
But then like started kind of trash talking, which you beat a legend. I get it. You're
Yeah,
gonna trash
yeah.
talk. But then
But he
then
He
Phelps
still has 21 medals though.
right, and then Phelps retired, and then Leclos set I guess another record, or he won something else, and then Phelps came back and beat that time in a meet that Leclos wasn't there, and so then Leclos started trash talking like straight up.
like because I wasn't there. You beat
Yes,
me.
he was like, the
Oh,
only
shoot.
reason you beat my times because I wasn't there, and you couldn't have beat me in person.
You didn't hear
And
my
so
footsteps.
Phelps is getting ready and then come back and possibly get his 20th gold medal.
Damn.
Just his 20th. And Leclos is like shadow boxing in front of him. They're swimmers, and he's like, "There's you guys haven't
Seriously?
seen
No.
this. You guys get on the internet.
Okay.
How do you not see this? So there's they're getting ready. There's a holding area, and Phelps has a hood on, and he's like straight up beast mode. Like he's like
Maybe I
like
did see this
if
image.
he was if you could have had
like the
a
Ronda
microphone on
Ronda
him,
Rousey look when
he was
she's walking
probably
out like
growling,
that.
right?
Yeah.
And Leclos
Damn.
is shadow boxing in front of him, and people are like, "Oh, what is going on here?" So then they have this race, and Phelps wins by some crazy number, like the smallest margin of a win ever, because this dude in Japan came out of nowhere and like touched the
way.
wall the same time he did. But
shoot.
Phelps, who isn't a showboater, after he won, he was like, little bit of showboating,
No, what
like,
do you
no
say?
bitches.
What?
I am the legend in this sport.
Is that
you
what he
guys have
said?
to go watch this. How did you miss this?
Stop yelling.
If someone told me that to watch this,
Go
saying that no
look
one's
this
keeping me
up.
up.
It's amazing.
I will watch it.
So what did he say? No bitches or?
He said
He
no
said
bitches.
no
No,
bitches,
he
I'm
didn't say
gonna
no
ro-
bitches,
oh, okay.
but he should have.
Oh, that would have been so cool.
I
He
did
did kind of do a finger wave.
Oh
He
no
went-
way!
he
We're
went-
like, oh nice.
It was
That's
badass,
So,
yeah.
that's awesome.
I did see like an image, but it was referring to Michael Phelps' face, and so I did see that this
Yeah,
morning.
everybody's
but
been
I didn't
saying
see
that he's like channeling the dark side. And,
Yeah,
it's awesome.
something like that.
He's
Dang.
so far in the zone. If you could like harness the energy that he was like,
There's some dark energy right
Yeah.
there.
Wasn't there a team, a woman for Team USA in swimming that beat some record by like
Ledecky.
something like
yeah,
I think
Katie
that's her,
Ledecky.
like
she's
3
never
point
not
something
medaled.
seconds
Yeah,
or
she's
something.
never
Like,
not medaled. She's insanely.
Usually the
Amazing.
world records are like 1 point something or even just point whatever
Yeah.
seconds, and this was like 3 seconds or something. Like her. I
What?
feel like that's what
Are
I
you
heard.
serious?
I have a
That
friend.
much?
I might be making shit up, but I swear I heard. I swear that's what I read.
1.3 seconds. There we go. No.
She's like she was 3 minutes ahead of everybody.
Oh, about 3 minutes, but yeah, on
Let's go.
on a relay race or something, or on something that lasts
Right.
a minute and a half total time.
Oh, I don't know.
So
Did you
yeah,
find something?
Yeah. He got it. He goes to a.
This is back to judo, right?
Yeah, he goes to Henzo Gracie Academy.
Oh, he does.
He's a Tom. I think he's a Tom
Nice.
DeBlas student.
He got it in he got it in 18 months, and he's not allowed to participate in any BJJ tournaments though.
Why?
Because the judo whatever association doesn't allow.
Well,
any
they don't want him to
ranked
get hurt.
Judo people to be in BJJ.
No kidding.
Wait,
Yeah,
what?
I heard about that.
They don't.
Wait,
they
the
don't
Judo
allow them to compete.
Association does not allow any ranked judo people to compete in jujitsu?
Right.
Something like that.
But there's
yeah.
judo people that compete in jiu-jitsu all the time.
Yeah, I don't
there's
understand that.
More to that.
The International Judo
Yeah.
Federation does not allow Travis Stevens to compete anymore in BJJ tournaments. In fact, they have prohibited all ranked judo players from competing in BJJ.
What?
What?
What's that dated?
October 20th of last year.
Wow, that's interesting.
What?
Yeah, and this is from Eastern Europe BJJ.
Is anybody
why.
that is ranked in
Wait, so-
judo under part of that, or is it because he's an Olympian, or is it
Yeah,
because
is
he's
it
some
just-
sort of? I
I
wonder
think
if there's.
if you're world ranked, probably I'm
Yeah, it's
guessing
a-
world ranked.
Yeah, it says any ranked judo players aren't allowed to.
Not just like if you have a black belt or something like that, but if you're ranked in the world like standings and stuff, because they probably
That's
have
interesting.
like important tournaments. I'm assuming that if you get hurt because you got armbarred in a jiu-jitsu tournament,
That,
then you
well, that
can't-
was my first thought. Is that maybe it's an Olympic thing? He's going to be in the Olympics. They expected him to be in the Olympics. They don't want to take any chance that he'll get
sure.
hurt or something.
No,
in
I
something
guess
else.
that makes sense. If you
But-
have obligations and contracts, it's
Sure.
like saying that football players can't
play.
ride motorcycles on the weekend.
there
You know what
go,
I
yeah.
mean?
Or UFC guys aren't supposed to ride motorcycles,
Yeah.
right? Or something like.
Or they can't. Wear
Even though
anything else.
Cerrone doesn't care, he'll
Right.
like post
Or that they-
videos of himself on his jet ski, like
Right.
Huh? That's interesting.
Something
that
like
makes
that.
sense. I can see that if you have huge contracts and you're going to represent the country. But I wonder what the parameters of that
Yeah.
are. That's
I know.
interesting. So everybody is talking about what if we could get grappling into the
Ooh,
Olympics.
That'd be awesome.
Well, a lot of people's I agree, but a lot of people's arguments are that the way that the Olympic committees regulate the rules, it would somehow water down the sport. Does anybody know anything about that? Okay,
I
so
don't, but
no.
I
All
might
right.
have an opinion, but I don't know. But,
No, tell us your
I
opinion.
I don't know what they mean by water down the
Yeah,
sport.
I'm
I
trying
mean,
to understand.
Because
no
I guess the rules of
submissions or-
judo are slightly different than they were before
were
they
young.
went to the Olympics or something like that.
Or maybe
Okay.
outside of the. Could they have
Maybe.
different rules set in the
Yeah.
Olympics versus in just
I think so,
a tournament? Maybe.
Well, same thing with boxing. People have always referred to boxing as a watered down version in the Olympics because for a long time different shots were counted as opposed to like
Right,
power shots and
right.
a lot of body shots.
That's true.
I don't know.
That's true.
I don't know enough about this, so maybe
I would almost guess that that's what it is. A different rule setting within.
yeah.
For
Kinda
the
like
for the
pancrase.
Olympics.
I
Yeah.
can't remember exactly for boxing. It is watered down. I think it's just all about like points. There's no KOs. I don't think there's KOs.
That's what it is. Yeah,
Okay.
it's not about the power shots.
Yeah.
It's about point, like
How-
point
how much-
sparring.
yeah, like tagging and stuff. But they can do like I mean, why not bring jiu-jitsu in the gi or in the kimono in the Olympics? You know, the way they.
Why not bring it no gi?
I mean, it would be cool to do no gi, but I think they would have to like do away with certain submissions.
Well, they
'cause
could
don't
do
want
like
people
some kind of
breaking their-
unified grappling. So it could be a mix of wrestling, judo, jujitsu. Like it could be bring your best grapplers. It could be like the UFC of the Olympics.
That would be cool. That would be awesome.
But just grappling. That would be awesome.
Well, the UFC of Olympics or UFC of Jiu-Jitsu.
Also, what's the
Or-
Russian? What's the Russian
broke-
martial art?
Sambo?
Sambo. Yeah, like all of those guys.
I mean, broken limbs are going to happen. I mean, it happened in gymnastics.
happened
the
in
other
Oh,
day.
did you
Did
see that guy?
I
Oh my
saw
God.
that at least. At least
My
I saw
stomach
that.
turned.
Yeah.
And then day 2, there was a broken arm in one of the ladies defending Japan, I think. She won. She won the gold last time around, and she was
In
I
judo,
broke her. Yeah, she got armbarred, and she didn't
Ah.
tap, and
got a tap.
Wow.
broke her arm.
Ah.
Sucks, but
Wow.
I mean,
Armbar, you can
broken limb.
if
There's
you
been a
get-
lot
if
of
you mess
armbars
your
in judo
armbar-
that I've noticed.
Yeah, if you mess up your arm in an armbar, I think you could probably recover, but I don't know about the ACL or MCL or whatever.
Oh, that guy's leg
Things
looked like a
on-
fucking
No, he
noodle.
broke his leg in half.
Oh yeah,
that wasn't an
did you-
MCL
Oh,
tear.
I saw that.
Or an
Wow,
ACL
right.
tear.
That was a freak.
His
That thing
tibia,
that's
like,
I mean,
broken
that's
half.
that's not happening in every
right.
match.
No, that was
No,
a freak
no, no,
occurrence.
of course.
in
Absolutely.
jiu-jitsu, you
But-
probably there's probably guys gonna be like breaking stuff like nonstop.
It might
But then
happen
again,
a
I don't
little-
know.
It might happen a little more often in
Yeah.
jiu-jitsu.
I don't know.
I mean, they're not attacking legs and
Not in
judo.
IBJJF,
You know,
though.
or
What do you mean? There's no?
I don't think because there's no heel hooks in IBJJF.
but there's
Yeah, but injuries in general. See, I don't.
there's
that's
knee bars.
such a
People
stupid
won't tap to a
thing.
knee bar.
Knee bars.
Yeah,
that could do-
you
you
can.
know.
A joint is a joint. You can't tell me that the joint in your arm is any different than the joint in your legs.
True.
And that you feel pain differently in one of your limbs than you don't. So that's a silly non-rule. That's a silly something that somebody told somebody that they were like, you can't feel it in your knee till it's too late. No, dude, you can. It's the same as the joint in your elbow. Don't give me that shit.
That's just it's your ego that won't let you feel it.
Yeah.
Well, at least someone explained it to me before, at least for heel hooks and knee bars. No, heel hooks is that it goes. I think it was Riley Bodycomb. It goes from 0 to 100, like that. Like
So could any other submission.
not really. Like if I'm fighting something, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, this is gonna hurt.
No, I'm sorry. The three of us have all done enough heel hooks to know that that is not a true statement. You can lock a heel hook in and make eye contact with somebody and be like, I'm gonna keep going if you don't tap.
Or just-
so
Right,
that
right.
does, you know what I mean? That doesn't that counts for any submission.
That's
Anything
true.
can go from 0 to 100 if you are an uncontrolled grappler. But if you are a controlled grappler and have command of that submission,
Mm-hmm.
then no, nothing goes from 0 to 100. Like you don't have control of it.
But there's
I mean,
also-
like the pain. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
No,
the
go ahead.
injury. If you're looking at your heel, getting twisted in a heel hook, you can look at it and you don't know until that last second where
I disagree.
But you're aware.
you know when you're caught. But
You know when you're
in
caught. You know,
tournament,
okay,
it's gonna-
they have that hook. That hook is in. Their legs are in the right position. Everything. I'm not getting out of this.
Right. But that
there are
counts
guys
for any
that will get out of
submission.
that regardless.
That counts for any submission.
Well, that's
you
knowing
know what
your
I
own
mean?
body. Then,
Yeah.
that's me knowing. Okay, I can still get out of this. I could still get out of this.
I mean, but they'll think in their mind. Look at
that's ego.
EBI. Look at all those
Yeah,
guys.
but
who-
that counts for anything.
I know.
I hurt her shoulder because same thing. It counts for anything. Like it's just I've been hurt for the same reason. Like if you don't recognize that the
Mm-hmm.
submission is in and you don't tap in that moment, that's your fault because it's in. And as long as the person is not going like "Bleh,"
right.
That's true.
that has nothing to do with what joint it is.
What about like cervical neck cranks? Would you allow
Again,
that?
don't
Don't
go
Eddie,
fast.
What Eddie would say,
Who's
don't get
gonna-
caught.
yeah.
Don't
Well,
get-
who's-
That's true. Don't
we're
get-
talking
Just
about.
don't
I mean,
caught in
they
it.
are legal in sub tournaments as well too. I mean,
right. Don't go fast. Don't
or know
or
your
tap
limits
quickly.
or
Yeah.
hide your or
It's a
do away with
combat
ego.
sport. I don't see how in a combat sport where we are all aware that the entire I can't think of the word. The point is to break somebody's joints. You can't just call specific joints off limits.
That's true.
Or the fact, oh, that's a little too rough. That's a funny conversation on one of the meme. There's the dank meme group group on Facebook, and somebody made a joke about checking your oil, and I was like, oh, I call that the tampon. And then one of our friends was like, oh, that's ew, you go to the front. I'm like, what's the difference? You try to break my ankle. Who cares where I'm pushing my foot on you?
Right.
Sometimes it lands a little further up than
Right, like that's I don't.
wherever you get your grip
Right,
to
it's
push.
okay for you to make me go unconscious, but when I'm defending something, oh, a little off limits with the
Right,
toes.
right,
No,
right.
dude, like on my ankle. It's all defense.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's legal. It's legal.
Yeah.
You know?
So I don't buy into that whole, oh, well, that part of your body is okay to attack, that part of your body not okay
No,
to
it's
attack.
okay.
Please.
and nor do a lot of people. Even Goku, like at his tournaments, like he's like, it doesn't matter what belt you are. I think he might have even got laxed it. I mean, buckled down a little bit more because a lot of the lower belts were getting hurt. But most of the time, he's like, anything's legal. If you
Yeah.
should be able to either know when to tap or know how to get out.
I would make
So,
the argument
I-
that the lower
white
belts
belts.
is more about just them not being controlled, not about the specific submission. I got my knee hurt on Saturday because I was drilling with a white belt, and I knew he was going for a knee bar. It wasn't a
Spastic.
surprise. Yeah. But he
Spastic,
just
yeah.
didn't have control over how hard he was going. But that could have been my arm, and it could have been a choke, and it could have been a darce. It could have been anything. And it wasn't specific to the fact that he was attacking my knee.
That's true.
It was the fact that he's a white belt and didn't have command of his weapons yet.
And he could have been super strong too, like
Yeah.
spastic.
He was definitely stronger
spastic
than
guys
me,
off the
for
street.
sure. Yeah. So I think it's just not having a command of your weapons and not being aware of your bodies, but that's part of the sport. I don't think we should get to be like, well, choking somebody unconscious and maybe killing their brain cells, totes cool.
Okay, if in the Olympics,
Yes.
if
Let's play if the Olympic
yeah.
committee called us, the three of us right now.
sub
What would the
grappling-
rules get to be?
No, okay. Well, could you foresee like a lot of guys is walking off with their knees is ripped off? Possibly.
Could you see their arms getting broken?
Um,
Oh, yes. Same question.
not really. Not as much as heel hooks. I
Oh,
guess.
please. Please. It's the same. Yes, I could see somebody's arms getting broken because they wouldn't tap. I could see somebody's knee getting fucked up because they wouldn't tap. And I could see somebody going to sleep because they
All
wouldn't
the
tap.
time. Yeah.
What's the connecting
So
factor
maybe
to
the
all of
Olympic
these?
committee doesn't want to see all that. Then I'm assuming they don't want to see people get knocked out. Boxing.
Then why have
They don't wanna-
boxing?
well, that's
why they watered down the
Yeah.
rules, though.
they're like.
But that's
sword
what I'm saying.
fight.
So let's say the Olympic, somebody's emailing Lee right
you're,
now.
So you're saying, how do we water down
If
the rules
somebody
to make,
made us
to
the
make
Olympic
it,
gods right now, how would you guys like to see jujitsu in the Olympics?
well, how would we like to see it, or how do
Yeah,
we?
I just asked you that. Yeah.
Hold on, God damn it! How would we like to see it, or how would we have to
Make it make sense.
make it
Let's
acceptable
talk
for
about
them,
both.
for the committee?
Let's talk about our dream
Okay.
grappling situation in the
Well, we know what our
Olympics.
dream is.
What is it?
Submission only. And
Submission only, yeah. Submission
EBI
only.
rules. How badass would
EBI
that
rules,
be?
yeah, and
Yeah.
just know every submission legal. Done.
Yeah.
There's our.
Okay, so then what would
What would
make
we have to
sense for
do?
the plebes?
What's the watered down version for
Yeah.
them?
Is it
Something
points? Lame.
About, yeah. Points is
mean-
too much point fighting.
No
like, especially-
advantages though.
No
advantages.
advantage.
No,
That-
advantages suck.
Points
No
would be okay, I
advantages.
guess. Yeah.
Points,
Points
yes.
are okay?
Advantages, no.
I
So
think so, but-
IBJJF rules?
But no,
without the
that's without the
advantages?
advantages.
Yeah, but then there comes a point where you just get up by like 2 points on a person and you're able
then
to
you
hold
just
the guy
stall.
and you're able to stall or look like you're actually working and then you win by that gets kind of lame.
Hence, sub only.
Sub only, yeah.
Yeah.
But then there has to be a limit, like the 10-minute.
For sure.
But then the overtime.
How do you?
Has to be something.
That's cool. I like the overtime of EBI. That's
Yeah.
good.
Would you like to ever compete in EBA?
I was asked to compete.
You were?
I was asked to compete as a second alternate like 2 weeks before one of the EBIs, and I was like, wait, I got to lose all this weight only
Hold on,
to be
hold
a
on, let me
second
go get on the
alternate.
scale.
I got to lose
scale.
all this weight, up all my training, and to possibly
Have
be
to
the
wait.
second
Both
alternate.
both guys have to be out
right.
for you to.
And I was like, I don't understand that because I roll with a lot of these guys.
So
And,
if you had a guaranteed spot, you'd like to be in
oh,
EBI.
I would do that.
All right.
But yeah, there's some politics in that.
Yeah. You have too many 10th planet people in there, and then it just becomes the 10th planet.
yeah,
Submission only.
10
Yeah.
Planet Invitational.
Right?
Right.
Oh.
Okay, so the only way we want Olympics in the, jiu-jitsu, Jesus.
All the words, use them, find them.
Jiu-jitsu in the Olympics is if we get sub-only EBI rules.
That would be
That's
awesome.
that's
That would be
our
cool.
dream.
That would be.
Who do
That's
we
not how we sell
petition?
That I don't know.
Mr. Olympics. I don't know.
Dear Mr. Olympics.
Yes, Mr. or Mrs. It could
Gotta see what kind
Sir
of
or
traction
madam.
the IBJJF is doing. I mean, or the gi
I would
jiu-jitsu.
imagine
like they must have like some traction there somehow.
But
Possibly.
it would make more
Tried.
sense to actually have it no gi, because then it could be just a grappling tournament and wrestlers could enter it and all of the other forms of grappling could enter it. But if it's just gi jiu-jitsu, then that's incredibly specific, just like judo. And isn't that why they were taking wrestling out?
Are they? Yeah, I guess they're taking wrestling out, right?
I think they did, and then they put it back in because people lost their minds.
Yeah, yeah.
Rightly so.
That would be insane because
There's
I could
table
see that being
tennis
yeah,
in the Olympics,
There's
but can't
what's
have
that, broom
wrestling
sweeping,
anymore.
the,
So you're saying kind of
curling.
Curling.
So
I know.
you're almost saying like a mixed martial arts for the.
I said that, like the UFC, except for just for grappling. Yeah,
All right.
makes sense,
All right.
right? All right.
That's a lot of different rule settings then.
Anyways, they should call me Sir or Madam Olympian.
Head of Olympics.
DonnaGonzalez.com.
You know, here's a thing I see.
Let's talk.
I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I'm like most of the world. I mean, I want to see I want to see people get submitted and get hurt and stuff.
Right.
But most
You want to see people get hurt?
well, I mean, yeah. I mean, if it's a sub-only tournament, I want to see someone get submitted because that's what.
That's
you
not
know,
getting
Submitted is
though.
one thing. Hurt is another.
Well, I mean, sometimes when you submit a person, you're almost likely going to hurt someone. Look at, I mean,
Well, their
they're
ego.
not going to like hurt and mess up their career, but they're going to probably get hurt in that submission.
Well, sometimes jiu-jitsu hurts. It even hurts the
yeah.
person who's doing it.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
So, but I'm thinking
yeah.
if you look at about it, like if that boxing thing, I have to check on this, but
I know, I wish we all
most
knew more
things
details
are like
about that.
but most things are points, right? They're
Yes,
all about points,
I
except
think
for
so.
if you're actually touching the goal line or touching.
There's a
the-
goal line in boxing.
Well, like in running, you're
He's
touching the
talking
goal, or
about-
you're like swimming, you're touching the other side, whatever. Michael Phelps, touches the other side of the pool or whatever. But they're touching stuff, and they're not like getting like.
There's
the
a finish
end
line.
result
There's a
isn't like
finish line.
I'm walking away.
So without a submission, what would the end result be? Is that
It would
what
have
you're
to-
saying?
It would have to be some sort of point thing. I mean, that's what I think people would be. It would at
That's
least
what-
guarantee
But
something
you can
without
always
someone
game
getting
the
hurt.
system with points.
Exactly.
You can game the system with any rule setting.
That's true.
People are going to figure out how to game the system no matter what.
Well, they suck.
People are talking now. I keep hearing about how people are gaming the EBI
I know,
rules.
and they suck.
Mm-hmm.
Stop not participating in the spirit of the sport. Why are you doing it?
Right.
Lame.
Yeah,
always
going
going
to
to have those people. So,
Lame.
but I mean,
lame,
even
lame,
with
lame.
even with points though, you're still
Mm-hmm.
going to end up with ties. So then it's how. Look at the last Metamoris. There was only one finish. All the rest of them were ties, and people were like, oh,
Right.
People
True.
are disappointed because
No,
they want a
yeah.
winner. It's
yeah.
not.
Everybody wants to see who wins in the end.
They
That's,
want a
that's
winner
what
and
you're
a loser.
invested in. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what you're
Yeah,
invested in.
yeah.
For sure.
There have to be a way. I mean,
There has to be a way to differentiate.
I think we have the answer.
I think so too.
I think we have decided here officially on Mat Therapy what should happen in the Olympics regarding
go.
grappling.
how we make it happen.
make them limp.
So let's all
Right.
That's
Make them limp. That'll be our t-shirts. Make them limp.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
So, speaking of other irreverent things, we talk about something here on Mat Therapy called sex jitsu.
Okay.
And what that is how do you incorporate jujitsu into your sex life, Slick Rick? For example, lockdown comes in nice and handy for a little
Lockdown,
extra
okay.
leverage.
yeah.
I think he's turning red over here.
How do you make a dark Filipino man blush? Come on, Rick. Think about it. You're a
this-
black belt. Give some tips.
It's just grappling.
Well, it's not just grappling.
yeah. Well, yeah.
The armbar comes in handy.
Oh dear.
Oh man, yeah, true. How do you
Different definition of
incorporate it?
checking the oil.
No, I mean like flexibility. I mean that's key.
Right.
Like there's stuff that you can do that if I didn't have jujitsu, I wouldn't be able to
That
do
makes
stuff.
you more flexible?
Yeah.
As opposed to your partner?
Yeah.
Now, would you want to date a woman who does jujitsu? For that reason?
Same reason.
Yeah.
I mean, I could imagine it being, like two guys doing, or a guy and a girl.
It could be two guys doing it for sure.
Two
I
yoga-
mean, that has
a-
to be
a
happening
yoga-
somewhere. Yeah.
A yoga couple all flexible out and doing like crazy stuff. Yeah, I don't know.
Donna's also a fan of the sweeps.
Yeah, you can use butterfly sweeps.
There you go.
They come in handy.
I'm missionary this time. God damn it.
Have you ever dated a woman who does jujitsu?
No.
No.
Nope.
Why not? There's apparently a dating website. It's bjjdating.com.
I think so.
Yeah.
Something
Check
like
it out.
that.
You never
Huh.
know.
Interesting.
Yeah. I would imagine that the majority of anybody on there is going to be men because there's more men in the sport, but you never know who you're going to find.
So it's not.
So it's
J
golden
date.
for girls if they.
Yeah, it is golden for girls, ladies. There you go.
Is it so? There's J date, which is Jewish date. So this is
Yeah, that
JJ
has
date
nothing
or
to
what?
do with
This is
it's BJJ.
BJJ date. BJJ
Dating,
date.
I think.
Don't get them confused
JJ.
unless you want a Jewish woman who does jujitsu. Lila is the only person on.
But she's taken.
Yeah.
So-
Jew date. Jiu.
Yeah.
Jew date.
Oh, and Einstein could be on that too.
There you go.
That's true.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a few others.
I know. Who else do we have? I don't know.
Oh, there's a lot of guys.
There's
that
a
are
lot of
Jewish.
Jews that do jujitsu.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure there are.
So
sure
who's
there's
gonna
a lot
make
of everybody.
So who's gonna make the Jiu-Jitsu shirt? Jew.
Lee will.
Jitsu.
Yeah,
I think someone
might-
already
should.
does.
Oh,
There's
really?
that one.
You could be the fly. It's
the
see,
guy
as soon
who's
as
like
you
a
start
rabbi,
training,
and he's going like this, and it says jujitsu.
Oh really?
I think,
he's
yeah,
like-
I've seen that.
yeah.
But as soon as
Damn
you
it.
start training, you can make T-shirts that says "The Flying Jew," Jiu, the Flying Jew.
I could, yeah.
He doesn't seem very convinced.
I'm gonna have to sign up now just to make T-shirts. I
You
like it.
should.
See?
So, Rick,
Yes.
since you are the black belt,
Mm-hmm.
help us
Again.
convince again. If you guys
In
haven't
case
noticed,
I haven't figured out he's
okay.
a black
I'm
belt.
going to remind you. But we've been trying to convince Lee to do jujitsu forever, and not just
Okay.
us. Eddie, Joey, everybody. So, what's
Okay.
your sales pitch for Lee?
Okay.
Mind you, he has tried.
Have you tried? Okay.
I did it
In
for
the
about
gi.
6 months. Yeah.
Okay. And
But-
what did you or did you not like about it? Because that's where you got to find the motivation from somebody.
You know what, man? Everyone around me loves it,
Okay.
and I wanted to love it. And
Do you just want to
just-
jump in and love it as much as everyone around you does?
Because
Loves
that
it?
doesn't
well,
happen.
no. I didn't expect to jump in and be
Okay.
amazing at it because I'm a terrible athlete.
Well, no, but not necessarily how you do it with it, but how you feel about it. Did you think that you were going to go in and within the first week be like, "Oh my god, jiu-jitsu is life,"
Well, I mean,
like us?
just I mean, for example, with kettlebells, I feel that way. With kettlebells, I've always enjoyed it.
Oh, cool.
I've always liked the class, and I had good instructors over at VMAC, and I liked the people were always very nice.
Nice.
But I just never the class times didn't really work out, and then I don't know, I just wasn't good at it, and I just I don't like in my life like when I used to work, have like a real adult job, I'd wake up and I'd dread going.
Okay.
On days that I had jujitsu, I'd wake up and I dread going.
Really?
I hated it. I didn't want to go. I went for 6 months because of Joey and because they're so
You felt
nice
like-
over there.
You felt like you were supposed to. Or
Yeah,
or you had to.
Well, I mean,
or
I
you
was
should.
I was working out, so it was good to work out, and I had done the elliptical for about a year, so I was sick of that. And all I want is to like jujitsu, and
Okay.
I could try nogi. I don't think and I know it's made for people who aren't athletes, but I think just for me, it isn't made for me. I could always try it again.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I won't try it again, but at least in my first experience, it
Okay.
wasn't for me.
So I would say that because you're not gonna love it right off the bat, and there's some people that they get smashed and they never come back. You know.
Oh no, I came
Yeah.
back, but
Or there's some
I got
people that
my
get
ass kicked
smashed
a
and
long
they
time.
they come back because they're like, show me how you did that. But then there's other people that you got to, they're happy with just doing a lot of reps on stuff, and in those reps, and then they in a controlled environment, they say go at it, but not try to hurt each other. But they have like a mutual respect for each other, and it ends up being
like a flow roll.
like a flow roll. Yeah, like if you've ever rolled against somebody without submissions, is actually pretty fun because you're
Yeah.
trying to hold position and you're like, you don't have to worry about getting submitted, but you're just like trying to hold position. You're
Yeah.
like, this is actually kind of cool. You got to find out how you can make it a game for yourself.
Yeah.
And I had no issue getting submitted. I got submitted every time. I don't think I've ever submitted anyone, but I don't know. I just the thought of free rolling, like you said, was fun. To me, that sounds like a nightmare. Like
Free rolling sounds like a nightmare.
the whole thing.
Why?
It's probably
I
Talk to us,
I have,
strenuous
I have
and
such
stuff.
bad cardio,
Okay.
and I'm so bad. I have such short arms and legs. I can't get any chokes in right. And then with the cardio, I gas so easily that it's all. And then, and this is fine. I'll just, for example, during some of the warm-ups, we go in and it'd be like, roll over the back of your neck, do this front. I can't do any of that. I just can't do any of it.
Okay.
And everyone says it's fine, and I get it. No one has ever been mean to me at jiu-jitsu. Like
That's good.
No one's ever been rude. No one's ever said, "Oh, come on." Everyone's always been super positive, which is one of the reasons why I want to like it, because everyone's so nice. It's like, wow, I feel like something's wrong with me
No.
because I don't like. Like I'm like I don't understand why I don't like it.
No,
So
it's,
it's and I
You haven't gotten past the suck. Like everybody has to go through the suck. You get your ass kicked. You don't know how to do stuff. I have short arms and limbs. I get where you're coming from. I'm one of the smallest
My
people.
cardio still sucks.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm one of
Yeah,
the
it
smallest
sucks. Mine
people.
does too.
I continually get my ass kicked. You have to get past the suck.
it's almost like in when you do kettlebell or when you do like CrossFit and stuff. Like you are kind of going against other people, at least in jiu-jitsu. But when you're doing the warm-ups and you can't do it, and you can't, it's okay to stop, and then the next time try to do a little bit better than what you did last time, because now you know your limit, and then over time, you'll progress.
You push
You'll
those
be able to
limits.
roll backward over time.
Right, and I'm not even that good at kettlebells. Like I'm better than I think I was at jiu-jitsu, but it's not like I'm good or like I'm still lifting pretty much the same weights as there's usually about 2 or 3 guys and 2 or 3 girls, and I'm nowhere near what the guys are doing. I'm maybe a little bit higher than some of the girls, but a lot of times the girls and I are on the same weight, so it's not part of it's ego.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think maybe some things aren't for some people. Maybe
That's completely
Yeah, that's
possible.
That's true.
Who knows?
Yeah. But you are around so many jiu-jitsu people, you're
Oh, yeah,
never
they
going to
love
start
it.
getting it.
Oh yeah, no. At some
Yeah.
point, I'm gonna try it again.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
feel like
that's
you
cool.
need to try maybe a different place.
Or
Come train with us.
or
I'll
like
train you.
roll
No.
with guys that are like on a higher level that will actually take you under their wing
It's true.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
and show you the rope, show you the way.
A lot of people did that. Like
Okay.
I did a tournament, and people were
Wow, that's
were coaching
cool.
me. Yeah, I did.
That's good.
I tried it. I just
That's awesome. I
who knows? We'll try it again.
How many
sometime.
people
Yeah.
don't do tournaments? It's insane. So for you to even do that, that's
Oh, the tournament was the most fun I ever
that's
had,
legit.
and I got destroyed because the
See?
guys were like 70 pounds heavier than me.
Oh, see, that's not fair.
Well, I mean, it was my fault because I was too heavy.
Oh, okay.
Like it was just.
It was the heavyweight division. or
Yeah, it was
something?
like I missed the weight cut by like 15 pounds or something.
Oh, so then. Oh, okay.
So it was like I was 230 going against 280 or something.
That's cool though.
He's
That's,
going against big guys like Amir Alam.
he's going against Victor
Mass-
Webster,
yeah.
and
Oh, Jesus.
Giant.
Oh, shit.
But no, that was the most fun I had at jiu-jitsu because it was actually like an actual match.
there you go. So you do have fun. So you can
Oh.
just say my fun is doing tournaments, and then you just go out and just
Oh, yeah,
train for
but
tournaments. Boom.
There's like one tournament every couple months, or I know there's more tournaments, but
Over
like
here in
Oh my God, those
SoCal,
tournaments
there's
are
like
Are you
every
kidding me?
week.
There's one like almost every weekend.
oh yeah, but I don't
There's
want
also one on September 18th in Pasadena that you could go to Mat Therapy Apparel and find out all the information for.
Oh.
Black belts compete for free. You should do it.
Yes.
September what?
18th.
18th in
Okay.
Pasadena.
It's a Saturday.
Sounds fun.
It's a Saturday, right?
Yep. And
I've been
Lee's gonna
missing
come.
my tournament.
I don't know if he's gonna
Absolutely.
compete,
So
but he's
much.
gonna be there
I'll be there.
I
That'll be
have
fun.
the
He'll be there. signing autographs.
I got the tournament itch.
cool.
I
I
got-
know.
I got the tournament itch.
You got the tournament itch. Well, you're doing 2 back to back.
Yeah.
Did you hear? She's doing.
didn't know
She
that.
she sent me a text one day. She's like, do you think it
it's
would be crazy if I did one on Saturday and Sunday? And I was like,
Wow, cool.
hey, if you're feeling up for it, do your thing.
Two different tournaments or the same
Yeah,
tournament?
no,
Two
two
different
different
ones.
tournaments.
Wow.
So she's gonna do it.
I have a confession to make. I haven't competed since I got my black belt.
Oh,
And that's
Rick,
2014.
That's gonna change next
December.
month.
Yeah. I want. This
you
other
got your
people, I'll
black the same night that I got my purple.
do- Same night. Yeah. And
Yeah.
you sent me the video. It was all grainy. I was like, damn.
I'm sorry.
But no, I think it was,
It was
my
dark
phone.
in
It was
there.
my phone that was
It
grainy.
was dark in there. We were in a nightclub. I'm
no,
sorry.
like literally pixelated. I was like, okay, this is it. But I think you probably have a better version. Anyway.
I think I might still have it.
Okay.
I'll find it.
You know that when you got your black belt, I remember sending you a message congratulating you, and we were talking, and that was when I wasn't training anymore.
Oh yeah.
And you
Ah.
were the first person that I told in the jiu-jitsu community that I was coming back, that I was going to come back to start training again.
I'm pretty sure I still have that thread.
Yeah.
I save everything.
Do
Yeah.
you?
Yeah.
You were the first person that I was like, so I'm thinking about coming back next month.
Hell yeah.
After I was in Miami, I remember when you guys during that promotion, or I think I left the night of the holiday party when all the
Damn.
promotions happened, and
That's awesome.
I was like, I was already contemplating the comeback.
Nice.
But
and
yeah.
she did.
You were
and
the
look at her
first person.
doing back-to-back competitions
Back
now.
to back. That's
Oh, I already have more in line already for. I mean,
Oh, yeah?
given all these go.
How many do
okay.
you have lined up?
I want to do Naga next month,
Damn.
the Matt Therapy one, if you allow me.
Of course. But you have stuff to do too. You have to work.
I know. So if we can make that happen, hopefully that one. And then I will be in Miami during Gracie Regionals in Fort
shoot.
Lauderdale.
Ah.
So I'm planning on doing that before
That's
I
the
come back.
back-to-back one? Or?
No.
Oh,
No.
okay.
She's doing. What are you doing?
There's in 2.5 weeks there's a sub fighter in Santa Ana, and then Gracie Worlds the next day.
She's doing it.
Damn.
Becky showing up.
Gracie World. Yeah. Some fighter. They put
So
out some good ones.
we do something here called Women Crush Wednesday. I know everybody does it. I'm going to say this every time just to be clear. We do it too.
Except we're gonna change it up even more today.
Yeah, today is not even Women Crush Wednesday. Our crush today is Uncle Joey.
Uncle Joe.
Because
Word.
Joey Diaz went and got himself a blue belt.
That's awesome. That is freaking awesome.
Congratulations to him. That is awesome. We're
We
super,
all know
super
who
proud
Joey.
of him.
We all know who Uncle Joey is. So there's no need to.
I said Joey Diaz.
I know. We don't have to explain who he is or where he comes from. We all know this and
we're
how
all
awesome
super
he
proud
is.
of him.
That is awesome.
But
Did he
yes,
call you when he got his
super
blue?
proud.
Yeah, right after.
Oh, that's so
It
awesome.
was and I still haven't seen. We talked about it a couple months ago about the whipping.
Yeah.
He went through that. I haven't seen the video
shit.
yet.
Oh, the
I
gauntlet.
haven't seen the video either.
Yeah, I saw it.
Oh, you saw it?
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing it. I've seen the pictures.
Some of them whipped him pretty fucking hard.
Damn.
That's
Yeah,
just,
some
that's
people
Enjoy.
hit hard. That's such a
that gauntlet.
weird.
Some people were being nice, and you could see that because everybody, most of them whip on the back.
Yeah.
And there was a few that were like
Whipping toward the face?
His
Really?
his back's probably taking a beating, so I'm gonna whip him like
Oh,
on
okay,
his ass or
okay.
on his leg or something. But some of those fuckers hit hard.
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't get it, but
Yeah.
no.
It's their
No.
tradition.
But yeah, I opened up
Yeah.
my was it on Friday? I think I opened up Facebook or Instagram, and that was like the first picture that popped up.
That's
So I
so
called him.
freaking
And I was like, "Oh shit!
That's
Blue
awesome.
belt.
Look who's
in
a
the
blue
house.
belt."
I still got to see that guy in live because he's freaking
Joey?
fun.
Oh,
yeah.
he's
not?
funny.
Oh,
Were you there for
well,
the 10th Planet 10-year anniversary?
Yeah.
He
Yeah. Okay.
performed
Okay.
for us.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was
Yeah.
there for that, but I mean, I want to see him at a show where
Like
he
a
goes
re-
all off like crazy, like not just talk about jiu-jitsu, but
Oh,
talk
you-
about like his stuff. And,
You'll cry.
Lee
laughing.
probably knows when you
okay.
can see
Yeah.
him.
When he does Southern Cal again.
He's all.
let me
I
know.
mean, he's always doing.
Yeah, I think he's in Pasadena in like 2 weeks.
At the Ice House
At
with
the Ice
Joe,
House.
right?
Oh, nice.
No, just with himself.
Oh, awesome.
Oh, even better.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh.
So awesome.
You should come float and then go.
There you go.
Float
Boom.
at the Ice House?
No.
Oh.
You should go float at the Ice House.
Oh.
Yeah. No, Becky, tell him what floating is.
There's Just Float in Pasadena. It's a
Oh.
flotation therapy,
That's-
isolation
I
tanks.
love
essentially.
floating.
Yeah.
I love floating. I floated in.
And it's right. It's
a few
right
times
down
over there
around the corner from the ice
from
house.
the Ice House.
Yeah.
Sounds awesome. Damn. How many pods do they have?
11.
Damn.
Biggest in
They're
the world.
giant.
Damn. That's
It's like a walk-in closet. It's like the size of this office.
The biggest.
It's this small.
This is big. Think about this. This is big for an isolation tank.
The room itself is about this big, but the cabin that you float in is probably like half this room. Yeah, it's pretty big.
Wait. Oh yeah, but 11 rooms this size.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I thought you
yeah.
said 11 of them were in this
Oh
room.
no no
I'm
no!
like,
11
Yeah,
that
how
are
would you do
about
that?
this
Like,
size.
two
Yeah.
Climb first. You get a
Right.
ladder and then you climb up and you swim in.
Dude. Swim to your spot.
Yeah, you should come try it.
Oh yeah, definitely for sure. That sounds cool.
I did it last night.
It's
And on
great,
Sunday.
right? It's great.
It's awesome.
Actually
It's super
have it.
relaxing. It's yeah.
Mhm.
That's super relaxing.
I
I want
think
to
it
try the
helps.
cryo tank too, but I'm
never
afraid
tried
that's
that.
going to be incredibly
Is
painful.
that freaky? Have you tried it?
Yeah.
I haven't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't tried
I was
that.
just.
I gotta check that
Who
out.
did I talk to? Brandon McCaffrey did it the other day. I was like, "How was it?" And he was like, "It's not what I expected."
It's supposed to like
Wait,
freeze
fucking
or
cold.
internal. I was supposed
Fucking
to.
cold.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it'll be fun. I'm sure it's supposed to give you like a.
But I
don't
think
know,
it's one of the.
refreshing.
I think cryo is one of those things that you kind of have to do it more than you can't just do it once.
Right.
And expect
Done.
it to fix everything. Like it's got to be like a regular.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Regular
Okay.
thing. Yeah, we should have talked. We
Dope.
should have talked to what's his name last week,
Alan, I know. I
'cause he
forgot.
does it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
because he
huh?
does it
I have
regularly.
weird circulation issues. I'm afraid like one of my fingers are.
Freaking
Fall
fall
off.
off. Oh shoot. No, it just fell off. It just froze and fell off.
Oh shit.
Oh, damn, I needed that.
Oh well. Let me just tie it back on.
Bex, you got any shout outs?
I do. I've got 2 today. Andre Newman Jr. and Marty McLaren. Thanks for the love and the support. And,
Yeah, guys.
and the shout outs and the sharings and all those things.
All the things.
All the things.
All the things.
Thank you.
Hey, Slick Rick.
Yes.
I had a question to ask you, and now I totally forgot what it was.
So she's like
Yeah, so
drawing.
now I
she's
am-
drawing everything out in hopes that it's going to come back
that
to her
pops
mind.
back into my head. Where do you want to open your school? Oh, don't.
Don't,
Yeah,
yeah.
never mind. That's probably not. He's like, I've already scouted out a location. Shut up, Donna.
Somewhere in Southern
Is it
California.
going to be in Southern California?
It'll be in Southern Cal.
Do you already
yes.
have a place picked out?
I have a kind of. I'll just say kind
An
of. because-
area-ish?
Yeah, an area.
General
General
area.
location
General-
of Southern California?
Yeah, exactly. Because I don't know if it's gonna be all the way over there, all the way over here, or in between. So I kind of
I
want to
hear you.
keep it on the DL until it happens.
Got it.
That would make sense. So I'm
Understandable.
not going to ask you to
Because then
bust
if
yourself
I
out.
say it's gonna
Unless-
happen there and then it doesn't, then I feel bad because I'm like, I want to be able to. I know it's gonna eventually it'll happen. I just don't know where.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to. I want to commit to saying that it will happen. I don't want to commit to location.
Now,
Sure.
do you want to have a strictly jiu-jitsu school, or do you want to open up an MMA school?
It could be MMA. But jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, I could probably bring in some people for some MMA, bring in some people for some wrestling, kind of how everyone has it pretty
Yeah.
much, I think. But
Yeah.
the focus would be, at least my focus would be for jiu-jitsu.
Right.
And teaching ground game and stuff. So,
Very nice. Very nice.
What would you say your style is?
actually, I don't know. Every
Besides
style.
slick.
Every style.
What are you
Um,
obsessed with right now?
I just like jiu-jitsu. I like every different technique. Anything that's new to me is interesting. My game is however, I don't know. I can play a defensive game. I can play an offensive game.
Any go-to moves?
I used to have go-to moves because that was the only move I knew. But now it's like, people think I'm a 10th planet guy. They're like, oh, lockdown. I'm like, no, like when's, or rubber guard. And I'm like, I don't put you in rubber guard right off the bat, or I don't put you in a lockdown right off the bat. But if the situation
Calls for it.
then I'm going to put you in lockdown so I can move your weight around and then get
Right.
out and take your back or something like that. Or I'm like, well, he's can't choke his back, so let me try to pull rubber guard and see.
Right.
But I'll systematically see what I can do with the tools that I'm given.
Yes.
And that's why you're a black belt.
And that's why you're a black belt. Speaking of black belts, I rolled with Shigeki Matsuda yesterday.
Oh, you did? He's awesome.
Okay, first of all,
That's my first time too.
Doesn't he
Or-
feel like you're just like his toy, and he's just like
he's like rolling with water that can choke you in very painful ways, but he's
Or rip your legs off.
seriously like rolling with water. And he would just like let me do something, and I'd be like, shit.
and he was like, "That's cute." And
Yeah,
then-
and I somehow ended up in his rubber guard, and his rubber guard, at least within 10th Planet, is legendary. And it was funny because, like, I felt myself going to it, and I was like, shit. And then
you're like, "No, no, no, no." Okay, I'm
and then,
stuck.
like, all of a sudden, his leg was on my neck, and he says in his, really deep voice, in his Japanese accent, he was like, "Bad idea."
Oh, shoot. No way.
Oh, if
That's
he had to say that,
awesome.
that's even worse.
That's cool.
Even
No,
worse.
he's one of my favorite people to roll with. He is who I would love for my game to emulate.
Mimic. Or
Yeah.
to emulate.
He's
No.
he's amazing. He's like rolling with water. He doesn't use any muscle. He just is so completely relaxed and just
pure technique.
That's
pure
so
technique
cool.
and
Yeah.
pure, like, just all of a sudden you're like, whoa, oh, well, check that out. Shigeki
like,
has me in
Don't
a
even know how
Yeah.
to crucifix. Look at that. I can't even. Okay.
No, I rolled with him for the first time yesterday. I never rolled with him before, and I gotta say he's pretty cool. I like his stickiness.
Yeah.
And how people tell me that I'm sticky. I was thinking, man, this guy's sticky. Like his butterfly legs were just like, I was like, I can appreciate
He's
that.
amazing.
That's cool.
He's absolutely amazing. Yeah. After I rolled with him, I was like, that's whose game I want mine to be like.
Right.
There it is. Shigeki is
He's
my other woman crush Wednesday.
he's your. Would that be like a mentor?
Black belt crush Wednesday.
Black Crush.
Yeah.
Shigeki, that's cool. Hell yeah.
Oh, black crush.
That's cool.
Black Belt Crush Wednesday. We love all the black belts. You guys are all amazing.
Yeah.
I've learned cool lessons from you. I remember rolling with you once and I was kind of injured. And afterwards you were like, I'm glad you didn't tell me you were injured because that means that you trusted yourself enough to know that you could handle the situation without having to be like, don't go after my ankle.
Exactly.
And I was like,
Exactly.
oh, thank you. That's a
Yep.
cool lesson.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've rolled a few times hurt, and in a street fight, you never know.
Yeah.
And you can't pick and choose and say, "Oh, you just kicked
Yeah.
my leg off." Or
All right,
something.
bro, let's go, but
Let's-
stay away from my
Yeah,
elbow.
Stay away from my elbow. I'm gonna hold that in. I'm just gonna. But no, like I like the realism of that. Of if you're hurt, try to roll injured. Not know your limits. Don't try to go and EBI style on somebody. But you're gonna know your limits, and then your body's gonna naturally compensate for it by strengthening the area around the injury, or continue to ice and stuff like that. But I
Yeah.
like rolling injured.
I did when I first hurt my ankle. I did when I sprained it, just because it was sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
But now, I mean, it depends on how extreme the injury is, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now,
Definitely.
if I'm like having a week where I'm like a few weeks ago, my shoulder was hurting, I'm not going to say like, watch out for my shoulder.
Right.
Like,
It kind of
I'm
seems
just
like when you
gonna-
do tell people though that somehow
They're gonna
just
wanna
because you've
attack it.
said it. No, just because you've said it, something happens. They're like, oh
gravitate.
yeah, they gravitate towards it.
Yeah.
oh, my
And even
knee,
if they're
my
not
knee.
like being jerks, like just something happens, they're like, oh look, there's your arm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Plus,
true.
people, most of the time, like you tell someone, hey, this hurts, and halfway through the roll, they forget, and they're going after it anyway. So I'm like,
Right,
hey,
right.
so what's the point? Just tap.
Yeah.
Let them go.
Yeah.
Let
Yeah.
whatever happens, and I'll tap.
Be
I'm
like
just
water.
Not gonna let it
Be like
go
water.
crazy.
Be like water.
I do remember one time. I can't remember if it was an elbow or a rib injury. No, I had gotten arm
So
barred.
many
I got an
injuries, we
arm
can't
barred.
keep track.
I got an arm barred by Rafa Mendez, and that was like the worst arm bar ever because it like made my pec turn or like dented my pec.
How? What did he do?
Just mad arm bar, just tough. Like it was like a 5-minute round, and I was
Trying to think how
almost,
I'm like, how does
I was almost about to survive, and then he finally just went like Olympic style, like
He's like,
EBI.
no.
And I was trying to get out, doing my best, and then the last like 15 seconds or 10 seconds, just and I couldn't. I felt
was
my
it like a
arm
weird
off.
angle maybe?
No, it was just a clean arm bar, but it was just like rough. Like it was like I'm gonna finish you.
Yeah.
And I thought like in my mind I was thinking I was finished and I wasn't gonna ever train ever again.
Wow.
And my arm, I was laying on the ground. I was like, oh, and but I picked myself up and picked my arm up and just,
Picked my arm up.
and just held it there. And I was like,
I walked out with my arm.
It's like the gymnast the other day that broke
I know.
his leg, and he just picks up his leg and he's
no.
like,
Like,
he's
does
just
somebody
looking-
wanna do something
he's
with
looking
it?
around like, I think I
Oh.
did something to it.
Speaking
Did you
of
see
that,
that?
no,
Like he
I
just
saw
had
that,
this
but
blink.
I think he was in shock.
That's what everybody keeps saying, but I feel like I don't know.
Dude, he was in
that
shock. His
I'm
leg just broke in
sure.
half.
I'm sure he was totally in shock, but the look on his face to me didn't look like the look of shock.
Oh, right,
He
right,
was just
right.
like,
yeah, that's
guys.
Yeah.
That's
Anyway.
I think I saw where that guy they were lifting him into the ambulance and it dropped like twice
Oh, fuck.
or something.
Oh,
like that. Or
seriously?
once.
Are you?
I kid you not. I kid you not.
That's like
That's
they're
like
Who let the white belts pick up this
Right.
guy?
that's like some comedy sketch
I mean,
where
I feel
someone's on
bad
a
for that.
stretcher
I know.
and like they have a broken leg and they keep ramming the
Right.
leg into the wall or something through
Like
a
the
doorway.
Keystone Cops.
I feel
or
bad for the guy, but
ambulance.
I'm like, dude, like the luck. I mean, you just messed your leg up, and then now you're getting
Your career's
lifted up, and
probably
it's like,
over.
Just drop you, and it's like, come on, man.
That is awful.
Yeah,
that is
that's-
absolutely awful.
With the happy
Jeez.
face, you're saying that's awful.
Well, it is. Wait, you're gonna, you want me to cry for him? I'll cry for him.
It just doesn't. It
I
just
already cried for you for him. So.
Exactly.
doesn't seem real.
So most of the people that listen to us, what's up, guys?
Hope you're still
Are like, yeah, are in the beginning part of their career. What's some words of wisdom that you can
For
share with them
jiu-jitsu?
before, or life, or what are your words of wisdom?
I have like 10 commandments for jiu-jitsu.
Oh,
and I
please
don't have
give them
I
to
don't
us
I
and
don't
we
have them
will-
memorized, but I can look them up.
Yeah, give
Okay.
them to us.
Let me
That
go
is a
on my
big
face.
fucking phone.
It's the plus.
It's just a regular
the
phone, but it has a
giant
big
version
old.
of this one
Because I keep dropping it, so I had to have this big old freaking.
because bigger makes it stronger. I
No,
guess?
like the cover.
Oh,
Let me see. Here
Find
we
your 10 commandments, and
Yes.
everybody listen up. These are words of wisdom coming from Slick Rick the Roller. No, I love that nickname.
10 commandments.
Slick
Do you
Rick
know
Roller.
Becky's nickname is Beckford?
Ugh,
No.
it's not.
Oh, here we go. Oh, the 10 pillars for jiu-jitsu.
Give it to us.
One, record all techniques, either
Okay.
by writing, video, whatever. But you
I
gotta
think
make
about
note.
that, but I
Yeah.
don't actually do it.
Number two, escaping is an art.
Ah.
If you escape, that's like an art in itself. Number three, you gotta have strong go-to techniques. Number four, position before submission. And there are other people that'll say submission before position, but as a general rule of thumb, if you can hold position, you will probably win the fight in any fight. Number five, get humbled often, meaning always go with guys that are tougher than you, that are going to humble you, so you know that you're always going to have stuff to learn.
Sure.
Number six, healthy nutrition, like just eat well. And I'm pretty bad at that though, but I say if you want to be the best, you want to eat and treat your body right. But what were you gonna say, Becky?
The humbled one and going against people that are bigger than you or whatever. How much does that, I mean, depends on the person, but how much does it truly humble you? Like for me, if yesterday I rolled with a brown belt who's has probably about 40 pounds on me at least.
Okay.
And yeah, he's going to catch me and things, but how humbling is that when you can say, well, he's
It's probably more humbling to roll with people your own size.
it's more
Yeah.
if you get humbled by, like, if her and I roll and she catches me, like, that's more humbling
For sure.
than
Like, I'm not...
than you.
I knew Shigeki
tapping
was
me.
going to kick my ass yesterday.
Exactly.
It's not like I
how
was like, oh,
humbling is
Shigeki
that?
tapped me out 17 times. Yeah.
Well, that all goes back to jiu-jitsu. At least in jiu-jitsu, size of the person and the strength of the person doesn't matter if you
Yeah.
have really good technique. Because I can go with a guy 100 pounds heavier than me, but he's not able to catch me.
Okay.
But there are another guy that is 10 pounds heavier than me, or less, lighter than me, but is able to catch me. But I want to make sure, or you want to make sure, that your jiu-jitsu is works for everybody.
Okay.
For every body and for every skill level, strength level. You want to know your limits for ultimately if you have to walk around and defend yourself on the street.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. You got to put yourself in the fire, in the frying pan, with
All of it.
everybody, because you
Yeah.
want to know the best that you can be.
Right.
And so in that way, you have to get humbled often.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Okay.
What number are we on?
The
Number
one
7, cross-train in other arts. So if you do jiu-jitsu, try doing wrestling, try doing judo, try doing karate, just everything, because everything's kind of related. It's all about the body. Even if it's capoeira or breakdancing, that's kind of like a martial art in a way. Number 8, jiu-jitsu chess. Oh, this is cool. It's chess. It's plain jiu-jitsu, but you don't actually submit a person, and you could, but you actually go, okay, it's like a what-if scenario for jiu-jitsu. So I pull a move, and then I stop there, and then you pull a move, and you stop there, and then you guys just keep on going down the branch and say, oh, okay, cool.
So it's like chain rolling.
It's chain rolling, but you stop at everything, and you're not trying to. You will gain position just from doing stuff. But if I'm trying to lift you, then the guy's gonna let me lift him.
I see.
And then he says, okay, I'm in this position. I'm gonna exit out of here and put you in a leg lock. And then from there, I'm gonna escape the leg lock. So it's just kind of like flow rolling, but
Yeah.
it's you think about
But you're acknowledging every position.
Exactly.
Okay.
What they can do and what you can do.
All right.
Number 9, cardio and weight training. That's another thing that if you want to be the best, you gotta
I have to
strength training, because it actually helps. And,
Yeah.
I know. In my head, I know. It's just.
And number 10, vary the body type and skill level. That's probably get humbled often. I could add one more, because Sean Applegate had mentioned before, which was the reps. Do as many reps as possible. But I kind of that's for everything in every position. Your go-to techniques are probably your go-to because you repped it enough.
Right.
But so somewhere it's kind of embedded in there. But I could put it at number 11, but I want to keep it short at 10.
So you compiled these, or
Just-
you gather these from other black belts and whatever?
No, this is just from what I saw, and this is my personal
Your
thing, that
experiences
from my experience and from rolling with so many different people, and how could I make myself better, and then I figured that this was something that was kind of good.
I like it. Thank you so much, and thank
No
you for
worries.
coming on and sharing all
Yeah,
of
no
this with
worries.
us today. If the people wanted at home, I cannot talk today. I'm so sorry. If the people at home wanted to follow you in your career and find out where you're going to open your school eventually,
Yes.
where can they find you on social media?
Probably the either Twitter at Slick Rick Roller, or at Slick Rick Roller, or Instagram Slick Rick DA Roller, Da Roller.
Da Roller.
Paying homage to Slick Rick the Ruler.
Nice.
So Slick Rick DA Roller.
Nice.
All right.
And yeah.
And you're on Facebook.
Yes.
You just don't
Facebook,
check it.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just not your not
No,
your
no.
go-to. All right.
I'm on Facebook, Rick
All right.
Marshall, Rick
All right,
Marshall,
all
but
right.
there's like a million Rick Marshalls, so
You don't know what your
find-
handle
Find
is?
Slick Rick.
Oh, we'll have to figure out what your handle
Exactly.
is.
Okay.
Beckford.
Not Beckford.com.
Beckford.com.
No,
Beckford.com.
not that one. Don't
At
listen to her.
Beckford on all the Instagrams.
Shush. No, none of that. Don't listen to these people. BeckyDominguez.com. BeckyDominguez.com. At
That's
Bex
awesome.
and Violence. I'm going to Bex and Violence you in a minute.
And Lee.
And Lee is at leesite.com and
Lee's a pain in the ass.com.
leesiteconsulting.com. And I have a new Pornhub account if you want to go rate all the ones I've liked.
Oh, good. Thanks for sharing.
Wait, you can follow what people are watching on Pornhub?
Everything is social
think so.
media. Everything
Wow.
has some sort
Really?
of social media
That was just-
aspect to
They
it.
should totally
now.
do that. That's hilarious. You can be like, hey, I saw this porn. I think you might like it.
Suggestions.
Suggestions.
I was just
awesome.
joking, but maybe Pornhub, if you take
There
that
you go.
idea, I could take like 10
There you
grand.
go.
There you go.
you can fund it. They can fund you a little.
Exactly.
awesome.
Donna Gonzalez.
DonnaGonzalez.com, or you can go to 10thPlanetWomen.com and learn about our self-defense seminar on September 11th. You can also go to MattTherapyApparel.com and hear about our tournament on September 18th, or you can go to DonnaGonzalez.com, and all of that will be linked there anyway.
And our beach party on September 10th.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh.
Probably doing another beach
Crest-
party. Yep.
Crescent Bay, Santa Monica.
Yep.
I'm
The
jealous
day-
you guys
the
have
day
your own
before
name
EBI.
for your websites. That's cool.
You could probably get
There's no
Slick
Rick
Rick the
Marshall.
Roller.
Oh, well, yeah, that's
Oh,
true.
that's what you gotta get.
There you go. Somebody
Yeah.
get on that. SlickRickTheRoller.com. Thank you all for joining us today. We'll see you next Wednesday. Peace out, bitches.
Os.
Deuces.
Oh yeah. Thank you, Rick.